Hi,
Okay.
Janette.
Hi. How are you?
I'm doing so good. I'm so excited because here we are. We have been talking about doing this for months and months. This is, hey guys, welcome to Heart Rocks and Light Codes with me, Sandra, and
Jeanette.
hey. Um,
Hey.
Yeah, seriously, it might be a unusual name, Heart Rocks and Light Codes, but as we were figuring this out, I mean, over the summer and walking and in nature and doing our thing, it was a common theme, and we figured, like, why not? Let's talk about what we love.
Exactly. Well, you and I met um, and knew we were, I don't know, going to probably get along famously because of the heart rocks that I had in my home, and you
Yeah.
collect them too.
I always have heart rocks. Like, I mean, look, there's one right
This
there.
one.
I'm sure you have them within reach too. So yeah, it's something that we something kind of neat that we bonded together with and had that same attraction. And it's, this channel, this YouTube venture that we're doing is kind of in that same theme. It's sharing what's on our heart, sharing the things that we are observing, and just talking about it and raising the awareness and the vibration for everyone. And Janette, I know that whenever you and I get together, we always have like these really great conversations. And so now we're thinking like, let's bring them out to share with the world.
Yeah. Well, we go pretty deep sometimes
Mhm.
and figure we're pretty profound in our ramblings.
That's
So
right. That's right. Um, one of the things that has been a common theme, and what I thought would be a neat topic to start on for this first video, is just to talk about the energy, the energies, the frequencies it is, and whether, and that's kind of like with the the energy and the vibration and the frequencies that we get when we're drawn to, and we find those beautiful heart rocks
Mhm.
out in nature, and then
Yeah.
through your photography and the light codes and capturing all of that, that is energy and frequency. And I tell you, that has been on my radar so loud that it's almost like it's not that I just want to talk about it. I'm being so called to talk about this on a larger scale.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I feel like it's amping up too.
Oh, yes.
In fact, today I was just at a lady's house um, doing cleaning for her, and her husband passed away a few months ago last year. And she has a picture of her and him on this credenza in the front foyer. And the picture kept slipping.
Mm.
And I wasn't even near it. And I looked at the picture and I said, Bill, if you want to connect, move this picture again. And it happened again.
Oh,
And it
wow.
happened 5 times. And I called to his wife and I said, "Hey, it I think Bill wants to communicate." She says, "Oh, haha, say hi to him for me." So she wasn't really believing what I had to say.
Oh, okay. When you said that, I thought she was saying like, "Oh yeah, he's here all the time." So she
No.
wasn't in the, okay, but that is something, again, that's been a common theme, that after we pass away from this physical form, that we are still present. We still are our soul, our
Absolutely.
energy. And I don't know if that's something I've always believed, but it is something that I not only believe, but I embrace. And I'm so excited about it because I think about all of the ancestors and the wisdom and all of that, how it's all a continual energy force that is accessible to us at all
It is.
times. And so many of us are closed off, though. But as we've been talking, I mean, you and I have been talking, you shared a great video with me this morning about how do you know when you are living in a 5D perspective as opposed to in the 3D world. And actually,
Right.
remind me later. I want to post this up on our channel because I think it's really cool and
Sure.
other people might
The
like
link
that.
to it. Yeah.
So when you're when you start getting yourself, your own personal vibration higher, and you start moving away from the 3D linear world, you start to have this awareness, and this perception is more accessible to you. So you were in communication.
I believe so.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know
And he
so.
was responding. And this is on the heels of something else I sent you recently. I was in the living room here.
Mm,
The fireplace was going, the lights were dim, and I felt like I had uh, a shadow that was
yep.
around my head here in my periphery. And so that gave me an indication to pick up my cell phone
Hmm.
and start videotaping. And this is something I've done in the past, and I've captured many orbs and things
Yep.
flashing around. But this time I captured something that was way more significant, more dense. It was larger, it was whiter, it was rounder,
So
and
yeah, you sent me that video and I was like, holy smokes, what,
yeah,
to my eye, what I see when I was looking at it on the video is it definitely not an orb, which you see like a small thing. This was
right.
a it was sort of like oval, and it was like white
It was an
light,
energetic
some,
thing
yeah,
that
it was,
was
it had
quite
some
large.
density to it,
Yes.
but it was still of the light form. And you were able
Mhm.
to you captured that on your video. Did you
Yeah.
also see it with your naked eye?
Well, I think because I probably would have,
Yep.
but my phone is in front of me, and so, and I'm just kind of scanning the room, not really knowing where or when it's going to happen. But yeah, I think I did see something flash by as I was recording it, so I knew I'd captured something.
And how did Rudy react? For those of you that don't know, you will know and will hear about Rudy. That is Janette's beautiful little dog. Was Rudy in the room?
Yeah, I think he was on the couch. I don't know if he was sleeping or not, but he's definitely aware when there's things going on. In fact, he was at the house I was cleaning today, and he started acting a little strange. He was barking a little bit, and so I wondered if he was picking up on something as well.
Mm-hmm.
But yes,
Mm.
I've many times I've captured him, looking up at the ceiling, or, you know, watching something, or be awoken in the night. So, and that's when I have picked up the
Mm-hmm.
phone and started recording. And lo and behold, there are some things, some
Some things.
activity happening around us.
I'm gonna
So,
have to bring out my phone and capture a video next time this happens, and it's with my cat Misha. And I know now for certain that she is seeing some sort of spirit energy. And it used to, I'm so proud of her. It used to freak her out. She used to become very uncomfortable, very skittish. But all through the last couple of years, I've been reassuring her that these
mhm.
are loving beings, and that her mom wouldn't allow anything other into the house. And I've done cleansing with selenite, and I say these little things of affirmation. So I've let her know that they're okay. Last night she was over at the top of the stairwell where she always sees them, and I can see her looking up and interacting with them. And I was talking to her, and I like, oh, Misha, your friends are here, or they're my friends, they're our friends. I was like being so delighted with her, and she was just like looking and watching them. And so next time I'm going to take out my
Yeah,
camera.
yeah.
I didn't even think of that, and it often happens because
The
I'm.
cats are particularly psychic, right?
So
And
did you see another theme, another topic of what you'll hear on this channel is talking about the work of Dolores Cannon. Did you see the one when she's talking about how cats see us? So what she
yeah, is it more as an energetic being first, is it?
Yes, exactly. So Dolores Cannon has this explanation of how cats in particular, how they see us as humans is that they first see us as energy, pure
Our light
energy,
bodies.
our light bodies, and then their eyes adjust and they tune in to see the physical form. And that helped me understand why Misha was so off put by these light beings that she was seeing, because they
Right.
don't turn into physical form. And
True.
so
Yeah,
that was
that's
different.
right.
And so I've remembered that. And so that I try and relate to her, with her, first on an energetic level, and sort of do that. I mean, our pets, our animals, and all these energies, it's all pretty cool stuff.
Well, we could interject the little story that, well, something I've learned recently, that that our pets, you know,
Yes.
our singular pets that are, you know, family members, and I think we're all kind of guilty of treating them like our children.
Mhm.
They're pretty pampered and well taken care of. So I think it was Dolores Cannon, wasn't it, that said that animals that used to be herd animals are, um, when they get pulled out of the herd and are singularly raised as a family pet, they are being kind of groomed to be the next humans.
That's right.
So
That's right. When an animal is taken in and loved, and they are part of a family, their personality starts to develop, and that energetically is said to allow them to have their next ascension to be in a human
yes,
form. Yeah.
yes. But all the while, they are ascending with us at this point in time too. So as the light codes and the frequencies are raising us and affecting our our DNA,
And our
it's also
rocks,
affecting them. Yes.
rocks, anything of the earth, anything that is, I mean,
Yes.
this is a ceramic
Those are
cup, so that
elementals.
doesn't,
They
but
all have
it's
consciousness.
have a consciousness. And so that's another thing, that why this is so special. And that when we kind of, I mean, I laugh, I can see us when we're walking around on one of the trails, probably at Neck Point or something, and we're trying to figure out what are we going to call this channel. And we're like, we kept growing on thing, was like, well, like heart rocks and light codes, and we kind of looked at each other and goes, well, heart rocks and like why not? I mean, it's as specific and niche and yet all encompassing at the same time. Like when you think about this energy stuff.
Hey, it's earthly elemental and stardust,
Mhm.
you know, consciousness. And yeah, it
And
kind of,
man, is it being amplified.
yeah,
And
yes.
and I'm just hearing people's language change and the way that people are interrelating. I mean, it used to be, yeah, I mean, there's the people like you and I that watch all this, all this stuff, and we're really into it, but I think it is how it is expanding. And I think that there's more
Yeah.
and more of an awareness coming across the planet. And I'm just so excited.
Well, what it is people are remembering their own spiritual divine nature. You know,
Yes.
it's all the humans that are starting to remember that they're having a human experience, not the other way around, you know, this
Oh, yeah, yeah.
spiritual thing.
And I was just on a call earlier today with a good friend of mine, Angela Faith, who's a shamanic practitioner.
Oh,
And
yeah.
we're in the midst right now of doing one of her offerings, which is a 21-day foundation to meditation practice.
Mhm.
And she talked about exactly how she goes, I'm not so much teaching you things, I'm allowing you to remember. And the
Yeah.
process of
Yeah.
meditation, which may seem like something that we have to learn and to train, back in before there were the electricity and all, of sitting and being quiet within ourselves, and that contemplative sort of lifestyle is not,
Yeah.
it's certainly not technology. It is how I think we need those quiet times.
It's critical because that's where we receive all of our downloads and inspiration and intuition.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, that is how we manifest. It's kind of like being a human 101.
Yeah, yeah.
And yeah, no, it's critical. I think the message is becoming louder and louder that we need that quiet time, because all the answers are already within us.
Yes.
And so to tune in, instead of looking outside for gurus and
Yeah.
teachers, really we do have all the answers within. And the only way we can hear it is to be in silence and
That's
tune
right. We
in.
have to create that space. We have to tune in. And it's like anything else. I believe it's like a muscle that when you exercise that, when you make it a practice and a way of being, that it
Hmm.
just becomes stronger and your intuition becomes sharper and
Absolutely.
all of that stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the self-love piece too.
Hmm.
Finding that time for yourself. And it's not a nice to do. It's a have to do,
Yep.
I think for for us to evolve and tune in.
And I think
So,
even more so now in these particular times when there's so much confusion and stuff going on in the outside world that is trying to distract us from
mm,
being present, being mindful and taking care of the most important thing, which and it's having self-care as your number one priority, taking care of your mind, body, soul, and spirit is one of the ways to actually contribute most to others. Because if we're not taking care
absolutely.
of
Yeah.
ourselves, I mean, it's just like, yeah.
Yeah. And I think we're also, when we're in meditation, we're grounding, we're getting more, how to, we're protecting ourselves more from outside influences. And
Yeah.
when you're particularly a light worker and you're already beaming lots of light out into the world, you also become an attractor for some dark energy that you might not want to have to deal with. And
I don't
it
know
can
if it was
really,
on something that on the thing that you said this morning, but talking about spiritual hygiene
yeah,
is going to become more and more important, of making sure that we are maintaining that and knowing how to do that. And
yeah,
I think one of the things that being able to learn that and to manage our own energies and frequencies, I think is going to be one of the most important things that we can have
hmm,
as a skill moving forward.
yeah. No, I think that's definitely true.
Hmm.
Yeah. Um, and just learning with discernment. Um, what people are for our highest good, and um, yeah, being discerning where you spend your energy and who you spend your time with is going to become more critically important too, I
Oh,
think.
I think so. And what we use, what we utilize, what we are drawn to as tools, um, medicine, things to support and enhance our well-being. I mentioned before how I'm really really drawn to everything about energy and frequencies, and it's kind of throughout my life I've always found that I really kind of get drawn or led to something of interest. And then all this information, when the student is ready, the teacher will
Oh
appear.
yes,
All of
yeah.
this stuff is coming to me. And I mean, talking about clearing your energy and tapping into all these wonderful things in meditation, that's all well and good. And I believe in that. But I also see it as one of the most powerful healing modalities that is going to be available to us. Understanding how to utilize and use frequency and energy to help heal. I brought something up here. I wanted to, when I was thinking about this, I took something I'm going to read to you from. Again, this is from my friend, shamanic mentor and practitioner Angela Faith. She runs a
Hmm.
program called A Shamanic Approach to Modern Living. And
Right.
she's talking about this section of gathering our tools, gathering our medicine, maintaining our personal power. And it's all energy stuff. And this is what she says.
Hmm.
She says, in many modern cultures, medicine is associated with drugs, surgical procedures, and doctors. People often surrender their personal power to
Yeah.
these methods. And it was understood in ancient cultures that medicine is an interrelated process of physical and spiritual well-being, that medicine was thought as a way of being in harmony with the primal energy of nature and a way of becoming aware of the personal power within each of us that allows us to become whole and complete.
Hmm.
When I that just
Yeah.
resonates so hard for me.
Mm-hmm.
I
Mm-hmm.
just our own personal power, keeping that in check, doing things that raise our vibration, doing things that add and fill our cup, as opposed to
Yeah.
so much in society that is just so draining. I think that that is going to be not going to be, I think it already is part
Yeah.
of the healing that is going on around the world. And it starts on an individual basis, but
Mm-hmm.
like throwing a rock into the ocean or a pond, the ripples, when we as individuals start healing ourselves, that is how more mass healing I think will be available to everyone.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think there's been some kind of railroading of the old ways over the last 100+ years that made us forget that we are our own healer. And, you know, the women would grow flowers and
Mhm.
herbs and know all the uses for them, and all natural. And, I think also we've kind of lost the fact that so much is a biological response to how we're feeling and what's going on in our lives, and
Mhm.
then it manifests in our body as pain. And so when we go to a doctor, the doctor generally doesn't ask you, what's been going on in your life. It's like, here's some drugs to mask whatever the symptoms are. They
Yeah.
never dive deep into what's really going on in your psyche. And so there's a bit of a responsibility that I think we need to take back and just understand that what's going on in our lives are going to impact us, and we need
Mhm.
to um, you know do a little bit of sleuthing
Yeah.
and understand what the source of pain is. But energy, yeah, everything is energy, right? And the ways of the past were, um, well, Tesla and
Mhm.
other people had invented things like orgone pyramids and
Yeah.
um, well,
Harnessing and utilizing the energy and
yeah.
drawing it in. And if we can, I mean, I always used to talk on when I was doing the radio show on how if we can believe that stress and anxiety and anxiousness can create illness in our body, well, then
Hmm.
let's also believe that removing that and being in a more blissful, grounded, intentional state can
Yeah.
also produce and activate healing. And I think, I mean, it's just it's so exciting. And this is a topic too, it's just like it touches on, I mean, so many things, whether it's just from how we're interacting with others, within our life, when we're going out in nature. I mean, this is, you guys are going to hear a lot of our stories that happen to that we share, that happen to us when we're out experiencing and observing and things that go around, because I think there's magic everywhere. And
Completely.
the more that you experience it for yourself, or even hear other people start sharing things, like, I mean, I can't wait till we start talking about trees and all of that kind of stuff. And you can, when you start being, I know for me, when I start being introduced to these sorts of things, it piques my curiosity and I want to learn more. And then I can open up a whole new area of curiosity for everyone.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. No, magic in nature for sure. And yeah, what are our happiest times? I
Mhm.
mean, we just have to think about what makes us happy. We're not in pain when we're doing things that we enjoy. And it's the sweetest distraction there is to pursue things that bring happiness.
Yeah, happiness and creativity and playfulness. And I
Mm.
mean, this experience, the more fun that we make it, the more joyful it is. And it's really accessible. So I mean, some of the fun things that we're going to be talking about are just what it is that we do as individuals to tap into that that joy, and how it is that I'd love to have another conversation talking about our own personal awakening journeys and experiences that we've had.
Yeah.
And I mean, lots of other things. I'm totally focused on energy and frequency healing, and there's lots of stuff that I want to share. I've been having some really,
Yes.
really good experiences here in my house with both myself and my mom, which is so
Does it have something to
encouraging.
do with that red thing behind
Yeah,
you there?
there's that red thing. Yeah, that's a really really exciting thing we've brought into our home, and which is exactly into the theme of energy and healing and balancing and supporting our health and well-being without having to go for the advice at the pharmaceutical level, which has been one of my passions of speaking and educating on for years. So I'm super
You know what?
excited.
It's been one of mine too. I mean, I go back, I don't know if it was 25, 30 years ago when I learned about Nikan products, which were magnetic.
Mm-hmm.
And there were insoles for shoes and far infrared blankets and magnetic necklaces and wraps. And again, that's around frequency. And I was
Yes.
always drawn to that. And then I looked into PEMF mats, such as Beamer, which is pulsed electromagnetic. Again, it's because our bodies are electric systems. Um, frequency affects our
Mm.
systems, and it's around microcirculation and um, oxygenating the blood and
And
having it go
our
where it
bodies
needs to
are
heal.
our bodies are so primarily based on water.
Yes.
And when we understand, one of the conversations that I want to have here really soon is about
Mhm.
how to do something called structuring the water that we
Exactly.
drink and put into our bodies, and how that can really help to be absorbed and utilized when it's in the same frequencies as our bodies are vibrating. And it's like it's exciting stuff, and it's yeah, I
Yeah,
tell you,
there's just so much to share.
there's so much to share, and we're going to have fun along the way doing it, and we hope that you will join us and have some fun along the way. We're just going to see where this goes, and I know we are also we are going to be going on field trips. We're going to be
Field
taking
trips, I was just gonna
yeah
say, yep.
taking our curiosities and our interests, and taking them out and bringing them and sharing here with you all, with the common theme of lifting us all up, raising the vibration and the frequency, and yeah, finding out finding some good in the world.
Yeah, anchoring that heaven on earth frequency that
Yes,
we all want to experience. Yeah,
absolutely,
yeah.
absolutely. So I think that's a wrap for today. And let's do you have anything else you want to share?
You know what I could do?
You want to pull a
I could
card?
sh- I could pull a card because
I love it.
tomorrow is the new moon.
Okay.
We've just entered the Aquarius season, which is going to change, you know, how we feel about life. Capricorn's a hardworking, you know, father, and Aquarius is the airy kind of pie in the sky, anything's possible, community consciousness energy. So it should be interesting to see how that plays out in the next
Mm-hmm.
month or so. And yeah, so I pulled some cards about new beginnings
Yeah,
and the new
share something.
moon. And what would I like to share here? Um, Maybe I'll read a little bit from this book here. I pulled the card number 43, Karma of Kutahala. And we'll just see what that has to say about the new moon energy and new beginnings. So it says, your sacred soul passion is powerful enough to shift the state of your inner reality and your outer experience. So commit to what truly ignites your heart and do not be dissuaded by anything or anyone. If you are seeking to make a commitment, do so when it truly connects you to your heart. Follow your genuine, meaningful bliss. Know that no matter what appears to be, you shall prevail. You shall arise. And I'll just, let me just see. This oracle encourages you to recognize that in its own inimitable way, spirit is practical. It just tends to go via the deliriously rapturous, astonishing, and deeply healing route. Trust what you love and let your heart lead you. You and your life shall become luminous, sanctified in the grace of alchemical transformation. An unexpected and miraculous arising is at hand. I love that.
I love that too. That sounds great. So soak in on that beautiful message, and keep a happy heart, and watch for whatever is going to show up and appear in the next coming days and weeks as we continue on. And
enjoy the new energies.
Absolutely. All right.
Great.
See you next time.
Thanks, Sandra. See you later.